Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for October 20th, 2023. Awesome new arrival video this week. We've got the hottest new release of the year. I'll show you guys that and the variants in a minute. But I will start off with a couple of things, just housekeeping type stuff. I started doing weekly whatnots every Friday. They're miniature, they're small, they're not really high dollar items, they're like mid-range stuff. They're every Friday at 5 o'clock Arizona time. They only last for an hour, so that comes out to about 30 to 35 items. 1 hour, so from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock Arizona time. I'm going to still do the big, massive whatnots with all the grails, but they'll probably be every couple of months. But I wanted to try to do it more frequently. I've always liked the platform. So if you're not familiar with it, it's an auction site. It's a live stream where I'm on video doing a live stream, but you're able to bid on things. Right now I'm working through a Japanese collection that I purchased, so a lot of Japanese type stuff is being put on Whatnot this week. But click the link below, you can see this week's coming up stream, again, at 5 o'clock Arizona time. Still doing the ultrasonic cleaning. It's been coming pretty popular here lately, I guess probably because I keep talking about it, but check it out. We offer it on all the records you purchase from us. It's $8 a record, but I will ultrasonically clean it, weed out any records that are warped, scratched, or damaged. Then I put it in a MoFi inner sleeve, a Japanese outer sleeve. I do every one of these myself. There's nobody else in the store that does it. If it's a busy week, it slows stuff down a little bit. You know, it might take 4 or 5 days. If there's a defective item, it's going to be contacting you, figure out what you want to do. But really popular. Saves you guys a lot of headache. Creates a lot of headache for me though, come to think about it. Sometimes I'll get a release and it's like, oh my God, every single record I open is destroyed. It saves you guys a lot of headache. International, still shipping international. Last week we dropped a new DHL USPS hybrid. It's still, customs are paid, duties are paid, everything's paid up front, so you don't get any surprise bills. The total is the total at the, that you're going to pay at the checkout. But the shipping itself is lower. So you've got the expedited, which is like 1 to 3 days anywhere in the world. And then you've got a little bit slower option that's quite a bit cheaper. That I want to say some countries are significantly cheaper. Like I was shipping a package to the UK, it was like £3, £4 maybe, it was like 4 records. And it was like almost half to ship it via this new service. So I highly recommend checking it out. Actually, the very last one I did was a pretty good sized box to Germany, and it was super cheap. I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts with VAT, taxes, shipping, and everything. There's not a place inside of Germany you could buy records cheaper than I'm shipping them there for, and they're arriving quickly. So let me start with this week's new arrivals, but I'll show you guys the newest CDs. I've got the new Analogue Productions White Stripes Elephant SACD. Ooh, it's got the Spars code on it. I love it. So let's see how they did it. I know when I talked to Chad about it a year and a half ago, he wasn't totally nuts about the way the Spars code at the time was. He wanted more information on the Spars code, and it looks like that's what we have here. Mastered directly from the original analog tape to direct stream digital, DSD. I kind of like it. Didn't want to use the word DSD. We're going to go with the full direct stream digital. CD layer, and then there's the SACD layer. But that's it, the White Stripes SACD. Also, I got the Eagles Hotel California in on SACD. I should later on this week, too, get a restock of the actual one-step. All right, the Rolling Stones, Hackney Diamonds. So today is Wednesday. This record technically doesn't come out till Friday. I shoot this a little early. It is possible that I might have listened to this, I'm not confirming it, 13 times. Possible. But it's not out yet, so I probably didn't do it. But if I did do it, it'd be 13 times would be the number. This record is awesome. This is a really, really good record. It's got a very fresh and modern sound to it. And it's got a couple of just really killer bangers on it. Actually, Angry is the single. You guys have probably heard it. The second single, which is Sweet Sounds of Heaven, which has Lady Gaga on it. Also really good. But I think one of the best tracks on the album is Mess It Up, which is the lead-in to side B. This is a really fantastic album. You know, and I liked their last album, A Bigger Bang. This is a better record. This is extremely good. Highly recommend this. You won't be disappointed. Really a fantastic record. Vinyl was perfect, dead quiet, all around. Comes in a poly-lined inner sleeve. I guess. But fantastic record. Highly recommend it. So this is the black vinyl. So far, I'm still waiting on some variants, but so far I've also brought in some of the Major League Baseball collabs. We're going to start with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're variants, so it's the same. The album is the same, but the covers are variants. They did one for every Major League team. I only brought in some of the teams, you know, some of the teams that are more popular because I didn't want to have a variant. I didn't want to have 40 different versions of this on the shelf. So, of course, I brought in the Arizona Diamondbacks. Anybody guess the other teams without knowing ahead of time? It's not the Phillies. I didn't bring in the Phillies, so you can't get the Phillies. Not from me. But I brought in the Atlanta Braves. Of course, the New York Yankees. Because even if you're not a baseball fan, you tend to people just tend to have Yankees-related stuff. And the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay. But I might have some more variants, and I think there's an indie exclusive I've got on the way. But so far, I've got those 4 variants, and I've got the black vinyl. Finally, it's taken a little while, but I haven't listened to it yet. I've only listened to one of these. This is the new White Stripes UHQR. I'm hoping to do a standalone video on some of this stuff coming up this week. White Stripes, UHQR. I want to say most of these have already shipped. I've had them for a couple days now, and most of them have already shipped. The first 3 of the Atlantic 75th anniversary stuff, starting with Face Value. This I did listen to. Well, I listened to the first disc a couple times. Let's see, checking out the sparse code. 100% all analog, mastered and cut to lacquer from a 1/4-inch EQ Dolby tape copy of the original master tape. I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts. My initial thoughts is this sounds pretty good. I want to do a little bit more deep dive to it. It lost a lot of that 80s sound, which I think is quite nice. Kind of similar to what Mobile Fidelity did to Thriller. Took out some of that compression, kind of gave it a more modern sound. I feel like that's what I was listening to here. But keep in mind, in the store, not the best demo room. You know what I mean? I've got 2 speakers that are 50 feet apart. But that was my initial impression, which is very positive. I really, really dug this. Huge dynamic range on In the Air tonight. Started off like nice and quiet. I went and turned it up, turned it up, turned it up. And when the drums kicked in, I ran over the stereo and turned it down, turned it down. I mean, huge dynamic range. Really, really a solid record. And I'll say, starting off with this has already been announced as this title will be out of print in less than a year. The license for this was less than a year. You have a very small amount of time to make this purchase happen. The Phil Collins stuff. The rest of the Atlantic 75 series stuff are much longer terms. But now is your time. I wouldn't wait 3-4 months on this, because when these are gone, they're gone. And the Phil Collins stuff is popular. Out of the 3 I'm about to show you, I've sold far more in a way of the Phil Collins. That was done, I want to say, by Chris Bellman when I looked at the Dead Wax. Charles Mingus, haven't listened to this yet. Looking forward to it. This is all analog. Cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. Checking out the sparse code. And then we've got John Prine, self-titled, also cut from the original analog tape. Got a nice restock from Mobile Fidelity, one of my absolute all-time favorite Miles Davis records. Maybe my second. Top 3, Kinda Blue, Jack Johnson in a Silent Way. This is great. This is the closest Miles Davis ever got to a rock record. The sound of this is fantastic. Highly recommend it. Also got a restock of the B-52's Wild Planet. Ooh, it's got the new sparse code. Hey, check it out. This is an analog MoFi. 1/4 inch 15 IPS analog master to the analog console to the lathe. Nice. Miles Davis, Nefertiti. This is a title that I thought was very out of print, and here it is. Bob Dylan and the band. Great record. Fantastic record. 2 LP set. Really recommend this. Great concert. And another record that was very out of print, but here it is. This is Weezer's Pinkerton. Weird that this one came back. I would have tried to get Blue back in print if I could, if I was them, but I'm guessing they did, and who knows, maybe it's coming. Maybe they couldn't get the license. I don't know if I showed this yet, but this is the latest contemporary, all analog, cut by Bernie Grumman from the original master tape. You get more bounce with Curtis Counts. This whole series is fantastic. They're all pressed at QRP. They're all tip-on jackets. This is a really good record. Analogue Productions, I want to say, did this as a 45 RPM as well. I haven't had a chance to listen to this version, though. The latest 2 Blue Note Classic titles, and these are absolute banger titles. All analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. Art Blakey's Mosaic, phenomenal record. Art Blakey got me into jazz. And another dynamite title, Hank Mobley's No Room for Squares. 2 really, in-demand Blue Note titles. Tom Waits, Frank's Wild Years. I don't know if I showed that. There's a ton of stuff here, guys, so bear with me. And there's a lot of goodies, even deep. Offset, Set It Off. This is the newest Verve by Request, LeClave. This, I think there's a few more of these. This is not a record I'm actually familiar with. I'm going to have to give this a listen to. Stan Getz, Marrakesh Express, produced by George Martin. Verve by Request. Cyndi Lauper's She's So Unusual. This is a Record Store Day Essential Series on opaque blue vinyl. These are exclusive to Record Store pledged RSD stores, where you'd buy your Record Store Day stuff. The latest from the EMC Luminescence series. These are all analog, cut from the original masters, newly designed packaging with original artwork. Actually, the packaging on this is quite nice. I never was nuts about the original. They just didn't wear that well for me. But this is it says newly designed, but it looks very similar to the original. Has that textured cover. Just in time for the holidays. Vince Guaraldi's A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Original soundtrack recording. Another indie exclusive Jelly Bean Green vinyl. 50th anniversary series. Modest Mouse, The Lonesome Crowded West. "242, the official version. What's the name of the album? Official version. Belinda Carlisle, Heaven on Earth, half-speed mastered. This album was expertly cut from the original tapes using high precision half-speed mastering at Air Mastering. See, like that to me sounds like it's analog. Mastered at half speed and cut from the original analog or the original tapes. I don't know how you can wordsmith your way out of this not being analog. But that to me is about as analog as you're going to get, wording-wise. This is the latest from Numero Group. This is the Ponderosa Twins, 2+2+1. Nice thick Stoughton tip-on jacket, Stoughton style. I don't know who made it, but This is grassy green vinyl. A couple of reissues from Katy Perry. The last pressing of this thing was over $100, so it's nice that this is back in print. Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. Katy Perry's Prism. I think there's some more maybe. I don't know if I have them in here yet, but I think our whole catalog's getting reprinted. This is the 30th anniversary of U2's Zooropa with the foil cover. Transparent yellow vinyl. We Need Christmas. Maddie and Tay. Willie Nelson's Spirit. Classic 1996 album on black vinyl. That's actually a pretty cool Willie Nelson photo on the front. The original source. These are the Deutsche Grammophon reissue series. This is the latest too. Pure analog mix and cut from the original half-inch 4-track tapes. Done by Sidney Meyer. She was a protege of Kevin Gray. These are numbered to 3000 and they are hand numbered. Let's see. This is number 2027 of 3000. This is Beethoven's. Emil Gillis. This is what? Piano sonatas. And then, Symphony Fantastique. Yeah, same thing. Half-inch, 4-track tapes. Copy 1120 of 3000. They actually come in this like Japanese sleeve. They don't actually come in shrink. So I actually didn't get to hear the first couple of them, so I'm looking forward to it. Movements. No Good Left to Give. This is the Indie Store Fruit Punch Vinyl exclusive. Really dug this reissue. We've got the Cranberries, To the Faithful Departed. This is the standard 1-disc version, and then there is a 2-disc deluxe set, which I think I showed one of these two last week, but not both. But they're bonus discs. You've got some demos on there. But this was a great record. The first two tracks on it, Hollywood and Salvation, were pretty good hits back in the day. Feel Something. Movements. This is the Indie Record Store exclusive on Sea Blue vinyl. They did a real good job too of sticker placement on this one, I've noticed. Cakes de Killa. Svengali from Cakes de Killa. Okay. NF Mansion. Original motion picture soundtrack to Blue Giant. This is a Universal. This is a Japanese pressing, it looks like, yeah. Made in Japan. Got it. It's not a gazillion dollars. It's amazing. Ooh, this should be good. Stax Christmas from Kraft. Featuring holiday favorites from Isaiah Kay, Staple Singers, Rufus Thomas, Albert King. I love the Soul Christmas albums. Chris Body, Volume 1. This is on Blue Note. This, I think, is just a restock. I've got the half-speed and the non-half-speed. This is a real bizarre thing. The Who, right? This is the newest version of the Who. They did it two different ways. You can get it cut at standard speed here on black, or excuse me, on, this is the indie colored vinyl, right? So this would be, it's like a bluish, it's like that color. This is cut at regular speed. They also did a half speed. The master is the same, it's just the cutting was different. Why the hell they did that, who the hell knows? I saw this today and I was pretty shocked. Look at this. Through the Past Darkly, but they actually replicated the original cut jacket. They even put the little hole, now it's not an actual hole, but on the original of this, the UK Decca, there was a little hole punched there. And the sleeve determined if it was stereo or mono. Blue sleeve was stereo, red sleeve was mono. and you could see through it, and that's how you knew. This is printed on there, and it only comes in stereo. But it's cool that it's actually the original cut sleeve. This is a Diana Washington, kind of a Great Women of Song. It's the new comps that Verve's doing. I think Nina Simone had one already as well. This is the original soundtrack to Spirited by Will Ferrell. Or excuse me, with Will Ferrell. It's a movie. Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds. This is an Apple original film. I was going to say, is this even out yet? Maybe. Civic, New Vietnam. Ooh, another the original source. That's the name of the series. Deutsche Grammophon. This is number 386 of 3000. Ma Vlast. Smetana. 2 LP set. Nancy Sinatra, Keep Walking, Singles, Demos, and Rarities. This is on yellow wax. The newest album from Rick Springfield. This is Automatic. 2 LP set. Midge Ur, The Gift. The world's greatest audiophile vocal recordings. It should specify on Chesky because this is a Chesky comp. But yeah. Macy Gray, Casey Abrams. Ron Carter's on this with Rosa Passos. This is on Chesky. These have been really popular. They've done a couple of these so far in the series. And they've done really well. Devo, 50 Years of De-Evolution, 1973 to 2003. This is essentially greatest hits. 2 LP set. We've got a reissue of the self-titled from the Nas on purple and black splatter vinyl. Look how young Todd's looking. This is interesting. Tyler, the Creator, Wolf. It's got a hype sticker that shows it's back in print, but it's actually a new release. So it's not a reissue. This is a new pressing, really. I'm guessing the barcode is different as well. It's got a 2023 date on the back. The half-speed master version of David Bowie's Pinups. This record was cut on a Neumann VMS 80 lathe with recapped electronics. It's like a flat transfer from, looks like a 24-bit 192 file, according to the hype. Roy Heed, Treat Her Right. Killer tune, huh? Includes Treat Her Right and recordings not issued at the time. Glenn Hansard. All that was east is west of me now. Deep, very deep. Another killer tune. The Cool Jack. This is the Capitals. This is part of the Karen Records series. Limited edition of 750 individually numbered copies on red colored vinyl. This is $3.95. Music on vinyl. Bob Dylan. Mixing Up the Medicine, a retrospective. It's kind of like a miniature greatest hits. Huh, cool. Liz Phair. Limited edition purple vinyl, 30th anniversary edition of Exile in Guyville. For the 75th Atlantic series, this is Coldplay's A Head Full of Dreams. Avenged Sevenfold, Waking the Fallen, 20th anniversary variant on gold vinyl. Future DS2, the third studio album. This is, yeah, it looks like just it's at least a reissue because it's got the Hip Hop 50th. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Mojo. 2 LPs pressed on ruby-colored vinyl. Haven't had this in stock in a long time. Not this version, but the standard version of the album. Probably out of print. This is Cactus Lee. Caravan on ORG Music. The Shins, Shoots Too Narrow. Got distracted by the sleeve. It's got a kind of cool gimmick die-cut sleeve. Pretty cool. Let's see, what's it say? 20th anniversary remaster. Morphine, Like Swimming, pressed on opaque blue wax. Derek Morgan, Development, a holy grail of reggae music. The LA Guns, Riot on Sunset, the best of. This is Blind Guardian, At the Edge of Time. This is on transparent blue vinyl on Nuclear Blast. Corpus Delight, Obsessions on purple marble vinyl. The Damned, Punk Oddities and Rare Tracks, 77 to 82 on green and black splattered vinyl. Going into just a few things over here. It's not full. This is just a restock of the Smashing Pumpkins Gish. We've got a 10-inch Boy Genius, The Rest, on gold metallic vinyl. We've got Holly Humberstone. Holy. My thermal printer botched up the H. Paint My Bedroom Black. Kind of a cool cover. Oscar Lang, Chew the Scenery. Sarah Kinsley, A Session. This is an EP on Decca. Decca Ver Forecast. Rochelle Jordan, Play with Changes. Another Verve by request. This is Kai Winding's Modern Country. And look how minty that Mustang's on the looking on the front cover. This came out, what, originally maybe 60, 64? Wow, very cool. The car. The album might be good too, but it's been a while since I listened, if I even listened to that, I don't know. Who's on this? Recording. Might never even have listened to that. Absolute fantastic Blue Note Tone Poet. This is a restock of Jackie McLean's It's Time. One of my all-time favorite Blue Note covers too. Pretty good when you can just put a whole cover full of exclamation points and have such a cool, iconic cover. But what it is. Chelsea Cutler, Stellaria. We've got Kayana Lead, Grudges. This is a box set of Seven Dust called Seven Dust 7. The 2005 to 2015 album. 7 albums on 9 LPs on black vinyl. And another restock, Blue Note Tone Poet of Hank Mobley's Poppin'. All analog, cut by Kevin Gray, like all the Tone Poets. And we got a restock of Nina Simone's Wild is the Wind. And that is it for this week's New Arrival video. This was a pretty significant New Arrival video. Get this Stones record. This is a good record. I mean, you theoretically could wait to stream it, but it's the Rolling Stones. It's great. And everybody's on it. Stevie Wonder's on it. Paul McCartney's on it. Lady Gaga's on it. There's a track with Bill Wyman and Charlie Watts. So you got like a Rolling Stones reunion on it. It's really good. beinggroove.com. Until next time.